Welcome back to my channel, Do Not Share Books. My name is Elin and I mostly talk about books or book related stuff. Today I'm going to show you the books I got in Ireland. I hadn't planned on buying many books or getting many books in Ireland since I got quite a few when I was in London shortly before. But you know, I ended up getting books. Fortunately, I can say that it was mostly secondhand, or it was all secondhand, I think. And I'm going to start with the books I got in Sligo. I went to Bookmart and got a book that I've been wanting to read for a long time, which is Passage to India by E.M. Forster. If you have followed my channel for probably a good while, you would know that I have a thing for India. I did the Indian literature readathon. I've read literature on India before. This is a classic, I think. I really wanted to read that. Then, after being in Sligo, as you should know by now that I showed you in my video on Ireland, I went to a book crossing meetup in Dublin. And it was really nice to see the Dublin book crossers again. You might have guessed by now, if you followed my channel, that book crossing is not just like leaving books behind or swapping books. It's actually making a community or meeting people and getting to know new people, which I think is great. At least if you kind of go to meetups or you're on the forum and stuff. At the book crossing meetup, I picked up two books, and the first was this book, Watching the English, The Hidden Rules of English Behavior by Kate Fox. If you know, I've been to England many times. I also that this would probably go for a lot of like the rest of Britain or the UK. And if you don't know, I lived in the UK for 6 months when I was a student in university. I studied English at the university. I thought this sounded like a good read or an interesting read, and that's something I would like to read. So I picked it up. The other one I just had to have. It's called Bloodlust and Bonnets by Emily McGovern. Doesn't this look like a fun read? It's a graphic novel. It's inspired by Jane Austen, and it's like, yeah, just look at the cover. It speaks for itself, doesn't it? Next place I went was to, and this is a big bag, it's not as full as it might seem, but I went to Chapters. I was devastated when I heard that they were closing down Chapters previously, and I was very happy that they decided to reopen it with new owners and that it's still existing. I don't think that Chapters was as good as it used to be, though the second-hand part of the shop is still large. I still thought that the previous Chapters was better, but maybe it'll change, I don't know. I actually bought a list of books that I was going to look for in Chapters, but I didn't find them all second-hand, but I did find some. And one of them was a book I've been wanting to read for a long time, and it's Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugengendis. Oh, sorry, don't know how that is pronounced. It's a book on a intersex person. I've really been wanting to read this for I don't know how long, and I was very happy that I was actually able to find it secondhand. Next book I found was Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. This is also a book that I've been wanting to read for not like super long, but a little while. I read Normal People that I really loved, so I think this will be an interesting read or a fun read, I don't know. And then I picked up a book I consider a classic. I don't know if you have. It has been filmatized, but I haven't read the book. And I'm kind of a bit annoyed with myself for not having read it before I watched the film, but I didn't know that it was a book when I watched the film the first time, which is many years ago. It's The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I don't know if you know about Princess Bride, but it's a sort of a fantasy. I don't know about the book, but the film is like full of humor. It's such a fun watch. A lot of quirkiness and a little bit like parody as well, fairy tales, and it's just so fun. So I'm really looking forward to reading the book. The next book I actually saw the first time I was in chapters, and then I was like thinking, no, I don't need this. I don't have to own it. I can borrow it from the library. I've done that before. And then I was thinking, but I really want to own it. So I actually went back the next day and crossed my fingers that it wasn't gone. And that was the first volume of Heartstopper. I love Heartstopper. If you've seen my previous videos for like the last few years or couple of years, you know that I'm a huge Heartstopper fan. So I was really happy that I found it secondhand. That is my book haul from Ireland. If you haven't seen my travel vlog with book crossing and book shopping, go and watch that. I'll leave the link in the description, as well as somewhere up here, maybe here. I will see you in my next. That's it for now. Bye!